Okay, so if you look back here, I've got my sketch on my body diagram, which looks like these parts right here. And I'm going to start with this one right here. And I'm going to... Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. I'm going to make sure I select everything. You see this little area that's not selected, so I'm just going to click on that, zoom way in, and click on this area to make sure this is also highlighted. And I'm holding down Shift to select multiple pieces, so I've got all the pieces I want to be like the top layer. And I'm going to click Modify, Press, Pull. And I'm going to bring them all up about 5 millimeters. And press Enter. And so now if I look at this from an angle, I've got kind of that outer part. And now I want to do all these angled pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the sketch back on because there's more pieces. And I can click that little light bulb right here. And now what I want to do is I want to raise some of these other areas a little bit. So I'm going to modify, press, pull this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I'm going to bring them up about I'll bring them up 5 millimeters to start. And that's not exactly what I want. Well, so this is looking pretty good. And now I want to slant them all down. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to try a couple different commands. We can try the draft command. And so we can select these two faces. And that's not exactly what I'm looking for. What we can also try is the chamfer command on these edges. And we'll see what that does. So if we bring this in about 5 millimeters, that brings that down. And then we can keep using that on other ones. So we can come modify, chamfer right here, 5 millimeters. Boom. We can try that over here too and chamfer this one about 5 millimeters. And so that's not quite looking like what I want. But it's close. So I'm actually going to undo that step. So we're back over, whoops, not undo that far. Okay, so we're here. I'll bring my sketch back. What I want to do is I want to join some faces. And that command I can use is sort of the loft command. So I'm going to loft from there to there and press OK. And now I get this really cool kind of face thing going on. And I'm just going to use that command a bunch. So we're going to use the loft command. And we're going to go from here to there. And so now I'm getting this kind of like upper shape that I was looking for. And I'm just going to keep using it. I like this command. Boom. Okay. And then this is really giving me that shape I was looking for. And we're coming back. I'm just going to keep using all these faces. And so this one right here. Boom. And I actually want this circle to be out. So I'm going to come... Whoops. So I'm going to come under here, and I'm going to extrude that circle right there, and I'm going to go 5 millimeters, and it's going to remove that. So now I've got that rivet hole, and this is looking really good. Like, this is the thing that I wanted when I was coming after this. So I'm going to just keep lofting these other edges, and hopefully that kind of gives me the thing I'm looking for. Modify. Oops, create loft. And this is telling me that you can't create the loft here because there's too many faces. So I actually need to edit my sketch and just create another line right here so that I can loft between the two faces. So I'm just going to use the line command. I'm going to go right about there to separate those two parts, so that I can loft each one individually. So I'm going to stop that sketch. I'm going to modify, I'm going to create, I'm going to loft. I need a different angle so I can actually loft appropriately. Boom to boom. Come on now. Oops, cannot. And I'm having some trouble seeing, oh, it's already there. That's why I can't see it. And then I'm just going to loft this last one right here to there. And now if I look around, this actually looks a lot like what I wanted from the original wheel. And I haven't done this internal part right here yet. And I kind of leave that up to you, but basically you just need a line right here and a line separating these, and you'd loft them in the opposite direction. And you'd be pretty done. And now what I could do is I would just repeat this process for these other 5. And you could copy the sketch and rotate it like we did in the original one, or whatever you wanted. It's pretty straightforward. But that's kind of, there we have it. That is our wheel. And just to show you what this looks like, I'm going to turn off the sketch. I'm going to turn off my canvas. And oops, assuming I can rotate, this is what it would look like. And that's like the shape I was going for. So this looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. There's a little weird curved edge right here, and you could fix that if you go back to sketch mode. But there you have it, and that would allow you to create a more complex shape. Now, if we want to talk about finishing touches, like if you don't like all these right angles, we can smooth some of these over. We can, using the fillet command, and we could just say, hey, let's curve that edge. You can look at these other commands in here. If you want something that's a little more round of a tire, you can use, a torus instead of drawing the 2 circles and extruding them. And that would look like, right here, boom. And then you draw the center, and you get kind of like a more tube-shaped thing. If you want to make the outer edges of this look like an actual wheel, or you want to change them, you could chamfer or fillet them. So again, if I was going to fillet them, I would just click out here, 2mm fillet, boom, rounded, easy. If I was gonna chamfer this here, 1mm, that's a little bit more of a right edge, but that can be a nice aesthetic if that's what you're going for. There are lots of options. I just wanted to give you an example of how I would do a kind of more complicated internal part of a wheel. And there you have it.